Alright, we've got all the information about Smash Ultimate that we're gonna get until release, so I'm going to just talk about all the Xenoblade related stuff that's in it and my thoughts on that. But first, very quick mini review of the Direct itself. The opening 5 minutes and the closing 5 minutes of that Direct were fantastic, but the rest of it was kinda not too great. Just in general, it was not paced very well, and there was a lot of filler, plus finding out that you can't actually control what type of lobby you get in with randoms is really bad. This is the only upcoming online game where it's okay for Nintendo to just keep using their peer-to-peer stuff, because it is a fighting game, and that's the norm for that. But the fact that the actual online with randoms is legitimately somehow worse than Smash 4's is kind of pathetic. It seems that the With Friends version is legitimately a lot better, though. So that's cool, but I don't have friends, so random is legitimately disappointing to me. What else did I actually have to say? Oh, yeah. The Direct as a whole was just kind of really fillery, and probably didn't need to be any longer than 25 minutes. They could have gotten the same amount of information out in that amount of time without going over unnecessary stuff. Also, the spacing, pacing, and choice of which characters were revealed when was very, very wrong. Like, I'm sure that this Direct was planned or written or even fully completed by the time the Grinch leak came out. So, obviously, they didn't change around, they didn't have time to change around all the stuff that was in that leak, so, let people who believed it was real down gently. So, I still think they should have maybe shown off the Shadow Assist trophy not in the last Direct, because that was, the most obvious Echo, the most obvious assist trophy to Echo thing, and they didn't do that, and all they did was give people false hopes. That was kind of dumb. Also, if you're going to reveal 5 characters in one Direct, make it the last one. We definitely shouldn't have gotten the huge Castlevania, Chrom, Dark Samus, K. Rool blowout in a previous Direct, and then only got 2 characters in one DLC now, because that was kind of bad. Also, Piranha Plant is great. It is my favorite joke character in any video game ever. Actually looks good, actually something I'm excited to play as. I would like to give a very large amount of money to whoever in the development team thought of making that. That being said, though, also, making the joke character your free, don't have to pay for DLC if you get the game early bonus actually makes a lot of sense, too. It's not like some huge, big fan-requested character that they're locking behind that and then a paywall. So, they chose a good character to do that, but also, Piranha Plant being the last new fighter revealed before DLC was a horrible idea. It's first off, they blew their load with the hypest reveals early in the first place. They definitely had to reveal one character at E3, because we already knew about Inklings going into it. And yeah, Isabelle being revealed just in her own Direct as part of the Animal Crossing teaser, that's good, I like that. But again, we shouldn't have gotten 5 characters in one Direct when that Direct wasn't the last one. We only got 1 newcomer, 1 Echo, and 1 teaser for someone who's not in at release this time. That was kind of really bad, and Ken and Incineroar were 2 of the more expected newcomers too. So saving them for last and then following it up with Piranha Plant right after pounding all the ideas people had for possible characters into the ground. You got Skull Kid, Shadow, Isaac, Rex in a row, and then Piranha. That was just very poorly thought out in general, which I think can be said about a lot of the Direct. It diminished my hype for the game quite a bit, but I'm still probably going to get it launch day and all that stuff. I might hold off a little bit to get the DLC, just wait till we see what the first character is, but I don't know. I don't think the Direct itself was very well executed, but I do think that the content they did show off for the most part was still good. Speaking of Rex, though, let's start talking about the actual Xenoblade representation in this game. And the first stuff to talk about is there's a lot of holdover from Smash 4, that of course being Shulk and Gower Plains. Not really much to say about that. If you want to know how Shulk was changed, you can look that up yourself, no problem. I think we know my stance on Sakurai adding spoilers to his Final Smash to make it make less sense in line with the actual game, and how that's a very stupid idea. Chain attacks are 3 people. If you're going to add a spoiler character, take out Ricky, because he's already an assist trophy. Just saying that. We also got some confirmation that a huge amount of characters from Xenoblade Chronicles 1 are going to be spirits. One of the first ones they showed off was Melia. They used Mumkar as an example. I'm pretty sure I saw Rhine in there at some point. And we also have Fiora, which means that characters that appear at other points in game are not excluded from being spirits, which does make sense, and spirits probably replace trophies in terms of being images of characters with flavor text anyway, so, like, I could see all the playable characters having a spirit of their official Smash Ultimate render too, and just doing that as a thing, because, like, playable characters had trophies in previous games, so they're probably going to still do that. Yarn Yoshi, Captain K. Rool, Male Wii Fit Trainer, I've all seen spirits of those, so having a spirit does not deconfirm you as a playable character. That being said, I don't think we're going to get Melia or Mumkar as a playable character, but Rex and Pyro were both spirits, so that does make them still completely possible. They have been in no way deconfirmed by any of this. But anyway, I think there's one more thing to talk about before we move on to the non-Xenoblade 1 stuff, and that being the World of Light teaser trailer. Because, oh my god, they finally let Shulk shine. And this is one of the most delicious things. I'm very happy about this, in case you can't tell. Like, yeah, he has a vision and doesn't stop it from coming true, as far as we can tell. But at the same time, the amount of time in between the vision and when it started actually happening is significantly shorter than like 90% of the times he gets a vision that he does prevent in the main game, including times in battle, as in outside of cutscenes and stuff, because, like, you're gonna get, like, a 6 to 8 second timer on that. Pretty much the instant the vision ended, people started dying, so it's like, you can't really blame him. Also, there is this theory that's been floating around that Shulk saw what was happening. He obviously saw visions of a lot of people getting killed and stuff, but we're not sure if he saw, like, the entire possible sequence, and the headcanon is, and I first saw this on Twitter from someone who's actually following me, so if you're a fan of my videos, good job, you get this Blux and seal of approval on this one. I would make that a physical thing of, like, Finch giving a thumb up or something, but I don't have money to commission an artist to draw that. But I like this because the headcanon is that Shulk saw what was happening, saw that Kirby would have the best chance of escaping, and then casts Monado Speed. God, that trailer made me so happy I can't even talk right. Cast Monado Speed on him because, yeah, by the way, if you've actually played Xenoblade 1 and don't only know Shulk through Smash and Xenoblade 2, you can use Speed on other party members, and in combat, it makes their evade rate for physical attacks higher, and those energy beams were definitely not physical attacks, but in universe, as clearly seen by the cutscene where Shulk first unlocks it, which is actually the only time it's used in canon, its actual purpose is making the person it's cast on significantly faster. Charlotte uses it to, like, flash step away from a Mechon without even trying. So, that's the theory. Shulk used it on Kirby and the Warp Star, and that made him able to speed up and do... I'm not sure what he actually did. He, like, ascended to a higher dimension for 10 seconds, waited for the galaxy to blow up, and then came back. I don't really get that, whatever that was. Because, like, the whole galaxy got destroyed, and he survived. Like, yeah, I could see him being able to just meander out of the lights and stuff, but then when the whole galaxy blows up, you're not going to have a great time with that. So, I'm not sure what actually happened there, but I love the idea of that being what happened. Unfortunately, after you get the big zooming back shot after Shulk turns around after the vision ends, you don't see him again until you get the big horde of all the, like, possessed clone characters, so you can't really see what he does in between that and when then he gets captured or killed. You don't actually see him die on screen either, and I'm pretty sure that was just a cut-up version of the actual cinematic, because they didn't show all the characters that were, like, actually in the beginning of that scene on the cliff get taken or destroyed or whatever, because, like, you see Mario captured in a later shot, and you don't see Mario get taken out by the light, so, like, obviously the implication is that everyone except Kirby got taken away, and they don't have to show all that, because, like, there are characters like Pac-Man, Cloud, and Ness and Lucas weren't anywhere in that scene to begin with, but there are also a lot of characters that were in that scene that you don't directly see get vaporized, so they probably cut some stuff out of that and just made it look like that way for the trailer, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see Shulk get disintegrated in the full version of the scene, But what I'm saying is, we don't see Shulk not use Monado speed. And we're probably not seeing the entire picture just from this trailer. So, I would like to believe that. So, yay. It's worth noting, Kirby does not have a blue aura around him when he's doing his escaping thing, but... Shut up. I would very much wish to believe things. Anyway, that's all the Xenoblade 1 stuff, really. It doesn't look like there's going to be any Xenoblade 1 inspired stuff in the actual World of Light map. Because I don't think you see Shulk walking around a little bit, and it's just kind of a generic environment. There are a few environments either inspired or directly based on specific series, because I saw a Pac Maze looking area. I saw a space area where you get Falco, so it might just be generic biomes, and they'll put characters relevant to that in places. So they'll probably like have all the RPG characters or all the fantasy characters in the same place. Like I could see them just put get Shulk at the same place. You get a few Zelda characters, a few Fire Emblem characters, something like that. Like that would make sense to me. And I don't think every series, especially one with only one fighter, is going to get their own unique, like, actual mini area of that map. But that's fine. I'm actually really, really happy with the way that they've been treating Xenoblade 1 in Ultimate so far. But moving on to X. X got the shaft. And is anyone surprised at this point? Now, I kept harping on about how I wanted to see Elma in base because I was sure Rex was going to be DLC, and hey, guess what? Rex wasn't in base, so, like, everyone who was telling me I was stupid because Rex was totally going to 100% be in base, and there was no chance he'd be saved for DLC, I told you so. I knew that from the beginning. Like, I'm sorry, I have no sympathy for people who are upset that Rex wasn't in base when it was incredibly obvious that there's no way he would be in base. Like, I made a Rex moveset that was literally saying that he'd be DLC. Just don't come crying to me about this, because I knew better, basically. But anyway, I didn't think Elma actually had a very big chance, but the reason I wanted her specifically, I was gunning really hard for her in base, was because I knew that if we got a Xenoblade character as DLC, it would be someone from 2, and X would be completely left in the dust. So, obviously we didn't get Elma as a playable character, but the thing I'm actually more surprised about is that we didn't get her as an assist trophy. I could see them not wanting to put her in as a unique character, but I feel like some playable character from X would actually make a very good assist trophy, especially since Xenoblade only has one, and again, it's just Ricky, who's already in Shulk's Final Smash. I find it really weird that they did that. I guess they just didn't want to model another character, because I think all the other Xenoblade trophies in Smash 4, like, I think they just used models from the actual game, but with up-res textures, while Shulk, Ricky, and Dunban just actually got HD-looking models. So I'm not really sure about that. But I don't know. I feel like if they were gonna give X something, an assist trophy did make a lot of sense. And even though I obviously think Elma has a lot of potential as a unique fighter, and I would like to see her as that, I did think she had a legitimately bigger chance as an assist trophy. And I have to say I am kind of surprised she wasn't one. Like, I was actually going in there expecting to be slightly disappointed that she wasn't playable, but okay with the fact that she was at least acknowledged in the form of an assist trophy. I think that was a reasonable expectation to have. I wasn't going in with like, yeah, this game's gonna be bad if there's no Elma in it. But instead of that, I'm not so much disappointed that she isn't, but confused at the general lack of X stuff in general. Because there is one spirit from X that I've seen so far, and it's just a generic Skell, which I thought spirits were supposed to be characters, and a Skell is not alive in any stretch of the word. Like, the Robobot armor is a spirit too, and yeah, you could argue it's technically a Kirby spirit, because they used official art of Kirby in the armor, but in Planet Robobot, you actually see at the end that the armor does have some form of life to it and is capable of thinking to itself, so I'm treating that as it being the spirit of the armor being in that, but Skells are not alive. Like, unless you're trying to say that there's a person in the Skell and it's actually that person's spirit that's in the spirit inhabiting the person, inhabiting the Skell, taking control of the character, that you then have to shoot with a special ghosty gun thing to get the spirit of the Skell, but it's actually the person in it. I don't know, that confused me a lot, but like, I was expecting Tatsu. This is the one time I would have been okay to get Tatsu, but anyway, we got one X spirit and no X music. I think this is a good time to talk about the Xenoblade 2 stuff, because we actually got a legitimate apologetic segment that was basically Sakurai saying, yeah, if Xenoblade 2 had been announced or come out earlier, I would have put Rex in the game. But because of time constraints, which is the thing I was saying every time someone said that he would be in the game, so thanks for not listening to evidence that turned out to be facts, he couldn't put him in, obviously. And it's like, yeah, that actually felt like a legitimate heartfelt apology, especially after reading his giant essay about why he loved Xenoblade 2. So I think that was pretty legit, and like, yeah, the Rex Mii costume looks dumb, but all the Mii costumes look dumb, so I'm not upset about that. So far, we've got Rex, Pyra, Tora, and Zeke confirmed as Xenoblade 2 spirits, but again, having a spirit does not disconfirm you're playable, so Rex, technically Tora and Zeke, but they're not going to do that, definitely have a chance at being one of the 5 DLC fighters. I'm not holding out for Elma at this point, but yeah, she does have a chance too. I don't know if Rex being a Mii costume actually makes him less likely or more likely than Elma, but I think after this, and after seeing the amount of people that were either upset or hoping that he would be a character that he's gonna get added at some point, even if he's not one of the main 5 that have been already teased. So, like, I'm still confident that we're gonna get at least one other Xenoblade newcomer. So, like, I'm not too worried about any of that stuff. But in addition to that stuff, we also got, like, as a, hey, we couldn't put an actual character or an actual stage in because of time constraints, but you know what's easy to do? Get music files from Monolith Soft and put them in the game. So we actually have 3 Xenoblade 2 music tracks confirmed. That being the main battle theme, Those Who Stand Against Our Path, and Still Move Forward. Main battle theme is great, Still Move Forward is great. Those Who Stand Against Our Path, I would personally have gone with You'll Recall Our Names. But hey, I'm not complaining, it's not a bad song. And in the screenshot, you can see that there are 11 Xenoblade songs in the game, but you can only see 9 of them. Top 2 are cut off, but I'm pretty sure that the 8 up to the Xenoblade 2 ones, like the 8 Xenoblade 1 ones, are just going to be everything that was on the stage in Smash 4, because you could see Gower Plain Night, Xenoblade Chronicles Medley, An Obstacle in Our Path, and You Will Know Our Names, and the only 2 songs that are actually missing that were on the stage in Smash 4 are Engage the Enemy and Mechanical Rhythm. Both of those songs are in the Xenoblade Chronicles medley, so I would be very surprised if they were cut. Now, granted, there's no way to know if this is actually the final music list for the stage, so there could be more Xenoblade 1 stuff, there could be more Xenoblade 2 stuff. I would very much like to see another remix of some sort. Like, you could tell that he's trying to damage control and put as much love into the Xenoblade series as he can, especially now that he's actually a big fan of it after playing 2. So I could see them just shoving in a bunch of music. Maybe they didn't have time to remix anything because of the whole time squish with 2, but I would like to see at least one more remix track. Anyway, my point being, there's no X in here, like, at all. People were saying when I first brought up the comment that there are 2 X tracks in the 2 DLC, and that proves that Smash, that Hiroyuki Sawano licensing isn't the problem, and that if there's no music from it in Smash, it's just because they didn't want to put it in there. But I don't know, I feel like it's easier to get licensing to use a song Sawano composed for a Xenoblade game in another Xenoblade game. Like, Monolith Soft probably already owns the rights to those songs in some regard. Like, I have no idea just how Japanese copyright law, how music copyright law, how any of this works in general, but I feel like it's a lot less of a rights issue to use songs developed for a game in a series for another game in a series, and I still think the reason that we haven't gotten, like, Uncontrollable or the Primordia theme or something like that, just one song from X, is either because they just happen to not be unlocked in here, or because of Sawano licensing issues. But honestly, I feel like the lack of anything X-related might slightly lend credence to Elma getting in over Rex as DLC. I don't know. That's the way I'm interpreting it. But I could also easily see Rex being, like, the first DLC character to come out. So, like, it could go either way. But I have a feeling that once Piranha Plant is done, we're gonna get the start of development on a new Xenoblade character. And hey, I don't care what we get. I'm not complaining about more Xenoblade stuff. But all in all, that's really everything we got Xenoblade related in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate that I know of. And that's kind of my opinions on everything. I don't know if I'll make any other Smash videos, because, like, the only other thing that I'd want to do would be talk about, hey, this would be a good stage for one of the other Xenoblade games. Hey, this is the music I'd want on that stage. Hey, here are a couple ideas for items. And I don't feel like I could make a very long or very compelling video about that. Plus, I'm very confident we're getting another character at some point, so it's like, I'm more interested to see if the character we get is anywhere close to my Elma or Rex movesets that I made up than coming up with other Smash-related stuff at this point. I'd rather just wait out my month and start playing the game for myself. So, yeah, I don't know how to end this video. I'm going to stop talking now. Until next time, this is Luxon signing off. Like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that. You're all cool people. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye now.